finances and how I moved out at 19. I am not going to be one of those classic YouTubers like I don't want to talk about money because I don't care. But we are going to talk figures, we are going to talk all this and that because I really don't care if anybody knows how much I pay and what all this. So let's talk. So I am 19. If you've not seen my channel before or anything like that, then yeah, I'm 19. So yeah, I live in South Yorkshire and I moved out about 2 months ago. Got my own house. Originally I moved out with a friend, but my friend does no longer live here just because she could not afford it herself and I couldn't afford to support both of us. So she moved back in with her mum. So yeah, I've been living here about 2 months and I'm going to explain how I've done it. It started just with an argument with my mum and I was like, that's it, I'm moving out, because you know there's still a little argument you have with your parents. And I'm like, I just need my own space because I was fed up of like every 10 seconds knocking on the door. Terry, can you do this? Can you do that? And I'm like, no. So I decided I'm going to move out. My friend was already living with me and my mum at that time, just because of issues in home life and things. I'm not going to get into that. But so we said, right, we're going to move house. We're going to get our own place. So we started on with estate agents. We rang some, we looked online, found 2 houses that we liked. One was in a really bad area, but the house was so nice. But they wanted, I think it was above £700 to move in. So we said no, and it didn't really help that there was a riot van outside the house. Well, near enough outside the house. We did not want to live in that area at all anymore. So we viewed a house in the area that we are currently in, and the only issue with that one was that they wanted £400 just for references, and then there was estate agent fees, then there was the deposit and the first month's rent. So it was about £700 to £1,000 they wanted just to move into that house. And there was also mould. Other than that, there was a little bit of mould in the kitchen. Other than that, the house was really nice. It was a beautiful house. It was probably similar to this, very, very similar to this house. But the house was very nice, but we couldn't really afford that much money. So then I started looking on private rented accommodations. And then we always said we wanted 2 bedrooms and a garden, because I like entertaining. When people come over, I like you know having space to just entertain. So I do like a garden, especially in the summer when you can go. That was important. So we saw this house. Well, we saw another house by the same landlord. I applied for that house. Within about an hour, he called me and asked if I was interested in this property because the other property is gone. And I asked a couple of questions and he said, yeah, you can come see it and all this. And we looked around the house, we really liked it and things. And then he asked if he could see my credit score and my bank account, just because private landlords don't want to pay for credit checks and DSSs and whatever they're called, and references. He doesn't like that. So he checked online on my ClearScore credit score thing. He looked at my account and he said that's fine because I county court judgments, he's fine with that. And he said for my age my credit score isn't too bad. Obviously because I'm 19 it's not going to be really high because I've not got much on it. And then he also checked my bank account where my wages were getting paid into, seeing how much I got paid, if I was being truthful with him and what my money was going on. And he seemed to be fine with that as well. He didn't check my friend's bank because she didn't have a job or anything, so it was primarily he checked everything on me and that. So then we paid £100 deposit to keep the house because there was still somebody living in this house. Up until about 2 days before we moved in, he was still living here. And so as soon as he moved out, we got the keys, and then that day we moved in. He asked for, this is not including the £100. The £100 was taken off of our deposit. So once we've paid the £100 like security deposit, he asked for £290 for the deposit, the rest of the deposit, and then £390 for the first month's rent, because that's how much this house costs. To say that it's £390, that is a lot of money for this area as well, and for this house, because there is very similar, if not nicer, properties for £320 around this area, literally down the road. They've got bigger gardens, bigger kitchens and things, but because this is private rented, it is more expensive monthly. So when you are looking into a property, you've got to keep in mind, if you go private, you will get better, because say the other day I had a leak in my basement, which my basement door is like there, but I had a leak there. There was water everywhere, all over the electrics and everything. I was freaking out. My landlord was with me in 10 minutes. I called him, he said, I'll be 10 minutes, it was there. And then within the next 10 minutes, the plumber was there. And the next morning, he turned the gas and water off to make sure nothing happened. The electrics were fine, he said. So the day after, everything was fixed. He came in early in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, and by 11 o'clock, everything was fixed. So less than 24 hours for my landlord to fix it. So that's what you get with private rented. That is what you are paying for, the quick service. And it's just gone really dark, I apologise. But yeah, you pay that, but if you go, say, the council, or the council can take a couple of days up to a week to reply to you, to come out, because they're just underfunded. So I wouldn't go for council. Unless you are absolutely struggling, don't go to council, just because the council houses are in need for families and things just who don't have homes. So if you're moving out, do not go on the council register. Find your own home through private or estate agents. Like I say, I always recommend private, just because I've done it through private, and I think private landlords are really good. You just search private rented homes near near where you live or where you want to live, and then you'll find some on websites and things. Estate agents aren't that bad, but personally they wanted to charge about £700-800, well, £700 to £1,000 just to move in, and I just wouldn't do it. No, I paid about £700 to move in here, but that was including the first month's rent as well, so that wasn't too bad. At 19 I did move out. I am still 19, but you know. So yeah, that's it really. So living on your own when you are 19 is scary, especially if you are a female. So I decided to get a dog, just because it made me feel safer, because when my friend moved out I was terrified of being home alone, just because the walls are really thin. Anything that happens next door, I hear. They step on a floorboard, they close a door, anything, I hear it and I shit myself. So I got a dog just to make myself feel better. And if you are like me, I would suggest doing the same. I didn't do it just because I was scared. I did want a dog anyway, and I was going to get a dog anyway. But it was the fact that I was scared did push me over the edge to get one. And I did adopt my dog, so I didn't pay for her. I adopted her from a lady who was working all the time and she couldn't keep her anymore. And I still keep in contact with her, send her photos and things, because she does love the dog. She just couldn't keep her anymore. So that's the story. I might run over a little bit. It is a struggle, I would say, because when you are first living on yourself, you have to budget everything. So your gas, electric, I'd say it's about, for me, it's probably £10 gas and electric a week. So sometimes it's less. It depends. If you shower every day, every couple of days, well, you shouldn't shower every couple of days. You should shower at least every other day. But it depends. So if it's summer and you're showering literally like 2 to 3 times a day because of the heat, then your gas bill is going to be more expensive because obviously the water. And in the winter, it's going to be more expensive because you're going to have your heating on. But so far, I'd say £5 to £10 on my gas, and probably close to £10 a week on my electric. And then your water bill is £40 a month. If you don't have a water meter around my area, it is £40 a month just for your water bill. And then Don't forget you have your internet, which is probably £25 if you've got internet, which I pay £25. Then you've got your phone bill if you have a phone bill, which mine's £30. I get the phone and the SIM card for £30, which is a steal. So then you've got your council tax as well, which it can be anything from like £10 a month to about £100 a month, depending on where you live, honestly. I haven't got my first council tax bill yet because I had to change everything on it. So I'm just waiting for that to come through. I'm not sure exactly how much it will be. So yeah, combined with all your bills, you're talking about £500-600 a month to live in a 2-bedroom property, probably in South Yorkshire. It depends where you are in South Yorkshire. I'm not going to say exactly where I am, but there is smaller parts. Like if you're in Sheffield city centre or Leeds city centre, then it's going to be more. Your rent will be more, everything will be more, just because it's a city centre. But if you're side in like the countryside, which is kind of where I am, then it'll be cheaper. It is possible to move out young. I would say you will need at least £1,000, a minimum £1,000 to move out. But that is not buying any furniture, that is just your deposit and probably your gas and electric for the first month, with a bit of food obviously. So yeah, to move out you will need at least £1,000. I would say to live comfortably, try and save £2,000 to £2,500, because that will get you all right. That will be all right. So also what helped me so much was Gumtree and Freecycle Facebook pages. So I got my fridge, which is there, for £20. It has the water dispenser, it works fine. It was £20 on Gumtree, just because if you turn the fridge up past number 1, it will freeze the fridge. But I haven't had any issues with it, apart from if something goes on the back of the fridge, it freezes a little bit, but I don't put anything on the back of the fridge. So yeah, it was £20 on Gumtree. Those fridges are normally like £200 to £300 new. So that's just an example. I also got my dining table, which I'm using now, for free. I got my desk chair for £20 off somebody on Gumtree. I got 2 sofas, one from a charity shop and one from Gumtree, for free. There's Facebook Freecycle groups where you just ask if they have anything. Don't forget to use your manners, because if you don't use your manners you will not get anything. I also got a TV stand for free. It's just little things like that that I've got for free that you would normally have to pay for. My microwave was £5 on eBay. I won it on an auction and we went to pick it up. So it's just combined with Gumtree, eBay and Facebook, you will be able to live, like you will be able to probably furnish your house for about £500. It's not going to be the best quality stuff, it's not going to all match, but it'll get you by. So like I've been getting by for 2 months on stuff that's not really, but and now I have the money. I've just put in a £300 IKEA delivery to get things that match. Everything's going to be white and nice and beautiful. That's my bedroom, not anywhere else. So yeah, you can do it. So you'll need at least £1,000, but that means you will be broke for the whole month until you get paid from your job. I wouldn't suggest moving out on benefits unless if you are on benefits, go to a council house, because I don't think you'll be able to do it unless you've got savings from a job. And you are over 25. If you are under 25, you've got no chance, because they will not pay you full housing benefits on universal credit. And that is a promise, because I've tried it. I was unemployed for about 3 weeks, and honestly, it is awful. After paying my rent, I had £50 left to my name. So you will need a job, or you will need to move out with a friend. So yeah, that's basically my advice. I'm going to stop rambling now, but make sure that you are financially stable before you do move out, and make sure you have £1,000 to £3,000 or above to move out. It seems like a lot of money, but if you save £300 a month, you'll be there soon. So yeah, if you've got any more questions, feel free to Instagram me or comment on my videos. I know this has been a lot of information chucked at everybody, but yeah, that's basically me. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Stay beautiful.